Well, good morning, church. If you have a Bible, you can go to Psalm 139. Psalm 139. I want to begin by telling a story, and before I tell this story, let me say this. The story I tell you is not meant to be emulated. If you are young, you're praying for a spouse, praying for God to bring love into your life, what I'm going to tell you, in my story with my romantic tale of me and my bride, this is not the way to chase a girl. This doesn't work most of the time. This is just who I am and who she is and how it played. So I meet my wife. She was my wife then. I meet a girl. I show up on her doorstep in the middle of the night. I am wearing boxer shorts and a blanket, and I'm at the wrong home, of course, because, of course, why would you go to the right house in the middle of the night? And from that initial meeting, friendship began. It blossomed. As we became friends, as time went on, I realized I like this girl from afar. I think she is wonderful, and I desire to care for her, have her care for me back. And so I declare my intentions. I call her, and very boldly and foolishly, which is my style, I spill all the beans. I show all the cards. I'm like, listen, I like you, and just so you know, a lot of you guys, you millennials with your cell phones, you'll never know the horror of calling the phone and getting her dad and saying, is Angie there? You don't know that because they have cell phones now, but I had to do the whole thing. She came on the phone, and I'm like, listen, I like you. I want to be around you more, and I'll pay for whatever that brings, meaning I will walk with you to the aisle if you let me. That's my first opening volley, so that's a lot for a girl to take. She's like, I don't even know you, man. I'm like, well, give me a second. And so we go on a date, which is how I'm going backwards, And we go on a date. If it goes great, I make her dinner at my home. Did I make fish fillets? Really fancy dinner. Put them in the oven. Date number 2, I decide, she's incredible. She's everything I ever prayed for in a wife. And I want this to go. I want this thing to be true. I want to give my love to her. I want to receive love from her in return. And so I decide, date number 2, I'm going to let her see everything. I'm going to show her all the darkness. This is where I've been. This is what I've done. These are the battles of my soul. This is the sin of my youth. This is my sexual history. I'm going to let her see all of it because I want her to know if she's going to be in this for the long haul, she's got to know who this guy is across from her. And so we go on a date, and I just, in case you wanted to know, I show her everything. Not a good move. Generally, when you try to sell someone something, you show the good things up front, and you hide the bad things, right? You put some Bondo over the rust so no one can see it, but it's really there the whole time. But I always for me, I wanted to be known. I wanted to be seen. I wanted the love she gave me to be full. And the reality of love is this. In order to be truly loved, you have to be seen. If you decide to fake it and put on a mask and someone loves your mask, guess what? They're not loving you, are they? They're loving this picture you painted of yourself. In order for someone to truly love you, you got to let them close and let them see the cracks, the scars, the flaws. So I reveal the cards. Know me. See me. And I show her the things, and there's darkness in the heart. I let her see. And she's like, I need to leave. I'm like, I know. And she left. And I'm like, well, that lasted a long time. That was awesome. And I'm going to be single my whole life. But she called me back, I think the next day. And I don't know what you said, but you said, I'm still in. And then I married her, and it was awesome. Being seen and known, I've been married for 12 years, and it's a good marriage. It is one of the great joys of my life. I go home, I can't wait to walk in the door. I can't wait to sit with my wife by the fire. It's a blessed life. But even though we've been married 12 years and we've revealed cards and we've been vulnerable and honest, it's still difficult to get across that chasm. There are days where I feel bad. I don't want to share it with anybody, not even her. There's days, I should have asked you before I told this story, where she will be emotionally full and tears may fall. And I'm like, babe, what's happening? She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, then I don't know either. There's times where we can't communicate, we can't cross that chasm of personhood. There are times, even though I have a wonderful marriage, beautiful children, great friends, there are times I feel misunderstood, alone, unseen. With this desire as people to be known, to be understood. And honestly, in its fullness, only one person truly ever will know the fullness of ourselves. And we find this truth in Psalm 139. It's a psalm of David. David, the great king, the great warrior who slew the giant Goliath. David, the king of an ancient kingdom called Israel, who ruled for 40 years, one of the most famous kings in his nation's history. We all know about his exploits, his wonderfulness, his holiness. But did you know David was a singer, a poet warrior king? Who has any chance of a guy like that? But he writes this song in Psalm 139. I'll read the whole thing, and then we'll kind of work our way through. As we read the song, know this: the song takes some turns. You might wonder to yourself, where did that come from? We'll get there. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You search out my path and my lying down and are acquainted with all my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, behold, O Lord, you know it altogether. You hem me in, behind, before, you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain it. Where shall I go from your spirit? Where shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light about me be night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. If I should count them, they are more than the sand. I awake and I am still with you. Oh, that you would slay the wicked, O God. O men of blood, depart from me. They speak against you with malicious intent. Your enemies take your name in vain. Do I not hate those who hate you, O Lord? Do I not loathe those who rise up against you? I hate them with complete hatred. I count them my enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Let us pray together, church. God in heaven, your word has been read. As we walk through this song, this inspired word, shake us free and shake us loose. It is a new year, and God, it's a new chance, a new moment. Your mercies are new every morning, your word says. I'd ask you to open some eyes and open some hearts that would leave this place rejuvenated, refreshed, and ready for this new year. In Christ's name we ask these things. Amen. As the song begins, we find the beautiful refrain, O Lord, you have searched me and known me. The first thing I want to say to you simply is this: you are known. It says here, David says it very clearly, over and over again, what it means to be known. He says, you know me when I sit down, when I rise up. You're on my path, you're with me when I lie down. Before a word is on my tongue, you know it altogether. You hem me in behind and before. Let me break this down. You hem me in behind. Now, what does that mean? That means this. 2015, all of it, God was there. All of it. Every funeral, every birth, every wedding, every dream you laid down. Some of you last year was a year of great joy, and when you think about the year, there is just stories you tell that overflow with happiness and sincerity. He was there for all of that. Some of you, 2015 was difficult. And things happened then that you don't know where they came from or why they occurred. He was there as well. Everything that happened last year, the God of heaven was alongside. He was walking, he was there, you were not alone. You might think to yourself, no one knows what I went through. It's not true. There was one who was there and took every punch you took. Every tear you dropped, every tear that fell from your face, it did not fall on empty ground. There was a God in heaven there, hurting with us. He is behind us, and he is before us. Whatever awaits us this next year, God is already there. Our path to us may seem unknown. My life currently is a big question mark. I am attempting something this year I have never attempted before. My bride and I, we are planting a church in Flint, Michigan. I don't know what the stink I'm doing, honestly. I'm loving people. I'm preaching Jesus. All I know how to do. That's all I know how to do as a person. I don't know what happens. I don't know how it plays. I'm told that the city of Flint is a church planting graveyard. Woohoo! Thanks for telling me that. Way to encourage me, pal. I don't know what's going to happen. I look out there sometimes, and I sometimes look out in the future, and I can't breathe because it looks so unknown. There's no net. But he's there, and he knows it's going to happen. And whatever happens, whether success or failure, tragedy or triumph, whether meeting the man of your dreams or receiving papers you don't want to receive, you're not alone. He knows, and he will be there with you. Not only is he there, it says, you lay your hand upon me. I got a buddy of mine, good friend. He's a pilot. Well, he's a pilot in training, learn how to fly. He called me one day after a really bad day of flying. It was the day he was supposed to test in order to get his license. When you test to get your license, the trainer has to get out of the plane. You got to fly alone and take off and land 5 times to show you know what you're doing. The first time you take off with your trainer in the plane is a very, very scary, scary thing. So it's that day that he told me before, I'm going to train. I'm going to test this day. I'm scared. You can do it, dude. You're the man. Well, he's there practicing with his trainer in there. He knows he has one more loop-to-loop, just take off, land, train gets out, and it's test time. So it's the last takeoff. On takeoff, the engine dies. If you're a pilot, you know it's the worst place for the engine to stall is when you take off. The trainer grabbed the stick, saved their lives. Scared him. He told me, I'm not going to fly. I'm done. I could die in that stinking plane. I'm like, I don't blame you, dude. Give up. I would shoot. Everyone loves a quitter. No, that's not the sermon. Well, he calls me 2 months later. He goes, I'm getting back on the horse, dude. I'm like, by horse, do you mean plane? He's like, yeah. So he goes. And imagine the nervousness he felt. The last time he was in that plane, they almost died. Little Cessna, student pilot, that's all you got. He's going through all the routine, turning things on, calling the tower. And he's nervous, and he's shaky. Now, my good friend, he, like me, and like most of my friends that I have, we have no father. Most of the guys that are in my life that are good friends, we have that same scar of no father. I don't know why we have it, we do. We just kind of drew towards one another in life. So he's there, he's nervous, and this old trainer, a professional. We're not friends, they're not boys. I'm your trainer, you're my student, that's all we got. This old trainer reaches his hand across, puts his hand on his shoulder, and just puts it there and says, "It's going to be okay, boy." My friend called me, told me he started crying on the phone. That simple gesture of kindness from an older man, that laying the hand of comfort saying, "I'm here with you, you're all right." It was so much, it moved him to tears. He held it together. Then you got to be a man, can't be, in front of people and do things emotional. But in his heart, it's settled because he wasn't alone. This person was with him. Not only as a trainer, but as a brother, as a friend. I am for you. So God is behind, he's before, and he lays his hand, which means not only is he there, but he cares. Not only is he there, but he is for us. You've searched me, you've known me. You see me. More than anyone else in the world sees me, you see me. There is no secret. He searches every closet, under every table, and God sees the cobwebs. He sees the things we say to no one. We are searched and we are known. Now, I say this to you, and you might say, okay, Pastor, you say this to me? I don't like it. I don't want to be searched and known. I was at a wedding recently, and I was with, there was a table, and I was right next to the single crew of the table, single guys. And they're all rowdy and loud and obnoxious. They're my favorite. And we were that way at the wedding. Like when the ceremony stopped and they said food, we're talking smack and being stupid and being loud. It was a wonderful time. End of the night comes, everyone's going home. I'm sitting there eating my third cupcake. Who knows what's happening? And someone walks over and turns the video camera off. He put it down to view, like as a still shot or as a camera view of the entire gym being seen, But it was placed right next to our table, which means, I thought to myself, everything we've said over the last 2 hours is recorded on that microphone. And I think to myself, what have I said? Have there been any private conversations? Any off-color jokes? There's this wonder. Someone's going to see and hear every word I said for 2 hours. And there was a moment of real panic. And I went through and did, was I stupid? Was I a godly man? And thankfully, I wasn't awful. So I'm like, thank you, Lord, for protecting me. But for 2 hours, I was already nervous. Some of you might say to yourself, man, if God sees all of it, my text messages, my private conversations, I had this claim to fame. Before I got married, I was a very angry man. I was a violent man, a very violent man. And my wife saw my violence once. She saw the anger raise up in me. She told me, Ernesto, if I ever see that anger, I'll be afraid of you. And I asked God for help. And in 12 years of marriage, I've never lost my temper in front of my wife, not once. Now, I'd say that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm glad I didn't lose my temper in front of my wife. That's good. I shouldn't be hulking out and throwing TVs across the stinking house. It's in there. I say that, but even though I've not lost my temper in front of my wife, I've lost my temper in my car. About my family. No one's there, but I'm punching the wheel saying who knows what. And God saw it. I think to myself, no one saw, so it doesn't count. I wasn't in the house. The kids weren't afraid, so I'm okay. God saw it. He was there, sitting in the passenger seat, watching me lose my mind for nothing. I thought, man, God sees all of it. I don't want him to see all of it. I don't want him to hear me when I'm a fool, when I'm a gossip, when I betray those that I love, when I'm petty and selfish. And honestly, the desire is to hide. I don't want to be seen. So I will hide. In the Bible, people hide from God often. They hide because they're ashamed, because they're guilty. I see people in church sometimes, they'll fall back into an old sin. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe they're dating someone they know is not good for their soul. And they stop coming to church because they don't want anyone to see their foolishness, so they just stay away from the people of God. If I stay away, they don't see me, they won't know. And if they don't know, I'm okay. We hide. But what does the word say? David says, we're known, but then he says the next thing in verse 7, where shall I go from your spirit? Where shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me like a blanket, the light about me shall be night. Even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as day. We can't hide. You may want to, but you can't. He sees all of it. We can hide to a lot of people. I've been married 12 years. I say that I have a very healthy relationship with my wife. I do. There was a time a little while ago where I found my father after 20, 30 years. I found my dad. And it was really hard opening that door. And I shut down. And I hid from everyone, including her. But even when I was trying to hide in that moment, you know who could see me? The Lord God. And he kept on pulling and kept on calling. He kept on searching. You can fool a lot of people. You can even fool yourself. You can lie to yourself, sure. But the God of heaven, he sees through all that nonsense. He knows what's really down deep. Beyond your words, he sees the thoughts and intents of your heart. You are seen, and you can't hide. You can't run. There's nowhere to go. You go to heaven, he's there. You go to hell, he made that place too. There's nowhere to go. You run to sin, he'll find you there. So we are known, and we cannot hide. So what do? What do? There's two options. If we are known fully, if we're seen as we are, if we can't hide from God's all-knowing vision and sight, we have two choices. The first is we can hate God. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be known, so I will hate you who knows me. David says, verse 19, oh, that you would slay the wicked, O God. O men of blood, depart from me. They speak against you with malicious intent. Your enemies take your name in vain. Do I not hate those who hate you, O Lord? There are people who hate God because he's so all-knowing and all-powerful and all-present. There was a rally in D.C. called the Rally for Reason. It was an atheist march on Washington, D.C. I watched some of it just to see what was going on. What are people saying about the Lord and about God? There was keynote speakers who got up there and people cheered for them. They were selling t-shirts, the whole thing, like a concert for atheism, I guess. To a speaker, every speaker who spoke at some point in their talk looked to the sky and cursed God. To a speaker. One old guy had a cane, put his cane up to the sky. We don't need you. Everyone cheers. I'm like, who are you talking to? You're telling me you don't believe in him, and you're yelling at him right now. Who are you yelling at? If he's not there, who are you spitting this venom at? The reality of that night. I've been mad at him before. I've been mad at God because he didn't do what I wanted him to do when I wanted him to do it. I've been there. I've been angry with him. I wondered, God, what just happened? Why didn't you stop it? I've been mad. Some people get so mad and so hurt, they say, you know what? I'm out. You're not even there. I hate that guy, which is weird. It's a weird thing to say. There's no God, that stinking jerk. Like, it's a weird thing to say because you're contradicting yourself in the same breath. But being known and being seen can be so horrifying. It can be so vulnerable. We can say, no, I'm going to do what I want, when I want, and pretend you're not there. You can hate him. You can. You can rebel and reject and push him off. Like Psalm 1 says, you can cast his cords from you and set your feet against him and his anointed. You can do that. Not a great place to make your camp, though. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. I'm just trying to say, he sees you and knows you regardless of whether you want him to or not. You can hate him. You can fight against him. You spend your whole life yelling at him. I remember watching Forrest Gump for the first time. And when Lieutenant Dan is screaming at God on that boat, I'm like, that's how it feels sometimes. Just yelling against the sky. This is all you got. You can hate him and you can fight. That's a hard, lonely, sad life. Or you can do the following. Verse 23. David says, search me, O God, and know my heart. That's a weird thing to say. Because he just said in verse 1, O Lord, you have searched me and have known me. So he said in the beginning of this song, you have searched me. You have known me. You do this for everyone, regardless of their life or their faith, their sin, their kindness. You see all of us. At the end of the song, he says, God, will you please search me and know me? What David's doing here is beautiful. God does see and God does know. And what David's doing here, he's accepting this reality. He's inviting this in. He's saying, God, I know you already do it. I'm opening my arms to you. Look inside of here and reveal to me what you find. He says, search me and know me, O God. Try me, know my thoughts. See if there be any grievous way in me. Look for any unclean thing and show me what it is. I know you search. I know you know. Share with me what you find. You can choose to hate the Lord, or you can receive him. You can kneel. You can bow. You can let him have his way with you. I told a story about finding my father, and I just went cold. I hid. Put the walls up. My poor wife, she's a very wise woman. She knew not to push because I would only pull away further because I'm a dumb man. I don't know how to say it. Proud, foolish, it's just what it is. It's what I am. And God's doing his work, all that good stuff. But she gives me this space, and when she gives me the space, she prays for me and against me. Thank you, darling. And she's waiting, just waiting. She knows I'm on the ropes. I don't know what to do. I'm emotionally under it, under the strain of it. But I need some help. I can't bear the weight alone. And finally one day, she's there, and her love is there. It's just waiting to be given, and I just won't receive it. I just won't receive it. And finally, I remember coming to her in the room one night and saying, babe, I'm not doing really good. She's like, I know. And that was opening the floodgates. And I let her help me. The help was there. I had to let her help me. The love was there. I had to let her love me. I need to say the words and let it all out and deal with the stuff. In the same way, the God of heaven knows you. Okay? No secrets, no pretend, no fake. He sees all of it. And you can say, leave me alone, or you can say like David says here, God, search me and know me. Dig this out and show me who I really am. Shine your light on every part of my soul and burn out the evil. Burn out the sin. Make me into a new creation, a new man, a new woman. It is hard to die. It is hard to be seen. It is hard to open your arms and let someone see what's inside. We are professional hiders, aren't we? We know how to fake it. Look at our Facebooks. We curate our lives, and our lives look awesome to the world, and our lives are boring and lame, and we all know it. But on Facebook, we're all superheroes, dude. We just paint this fake thing. Aha! It's awesome. Cheerios for dinner again. That's how we are. We can't fake God with that stuff. God sees through it all. He knows the sadness. He knows the truth. He knows the wounds, the stupidity. He sees all of it. How do you receive the Lord? How does that happen? I said earlier how the text says he lays his hand upon us. The way he's laid his hand upon us is through his Son, Jesus Christ. That is his loving hand to humanity. God has said, I am holy and strong. I made you and I knit you together in your mother's womb. I am your creator. I am your king. And we're like, I want to hide from that amazing power. And Christ comes saying, you don't have to hide. Christ is God stooping down to our level. So we need not be afraid. We would cower if the mountain shook. If God's power was revealed in the heavens and thunder spoke from the sky, we would hide under rocks. So God sends Christ stooping down to our level, that he lays his hand and says, you can come. And if we will receive Christ, if we will confess with our mouth, believe in our heart, we can feel that soft hand on our shoulder and know we're not alone. We can walk through this life and the fear can fade because we do not walk without power. The power of resurrection lives in our bones. Now, many of you here already confess Christ. You love Jesus. You know Jesus. You're here because you love him. But many of us love him, and life is still whack. Forgive the 90s vernacular. 2015 for many of us was like a merry-go-round. Same drama, same sin, same foolishness. The year ends, and I'm right where I was at the end of 2014. There's no movement, no growth. Things might even be worse. Like, I don't want to stay. I love Jesus, but how come nothing is changing? How come I'm not being made new? May I dare say this to you as we close? I know many Christ disciples who think they're awesome, who think their sin has been mastered and beaten. I mean, many Christ followers who judge the whole world and point their finger at all kinds of groups of people. And everyone around them knows those people who are pointing their fingers, they're bitter, bitter people with great, great sin, and they're blind to it. Some of us in this room, we're blind to the sin that easily entangles us. We love Christ, but we have no idea of the darkness that holds us back. We choose not to see. We live in denial. I would challenge you. Ask God to show you the stuff. Search me and know me. Try my heart. Try my heart. Reveal if there's any grievous way within me. It's a tough prayer. Say, God, I love you. But I love you, and I believe in you, but it's not working. I love you, believe in you. I can't get free of this sin. I love you, I believe in you. I'm still a stinking jerk, and I don't know what to do. What is wrong, Lord? What is in me that's holding me back? What is it? And ask him to show you. It is a hard thing to see who you really are. But until you let God shine light on your darkness, it cannot be burned out. I'll give a foolish illustration to end. In 2014, the beginning of the year, telling this is so embarrassing. I had a scale at home that maxed out at 350, and I hit the ceiling, and I was like, well, that's not good. I already bought I don't know, what do you call that? The man version. I don't know what you call a scale that large. I guess it's for baby rhinos. I don't know, but I had it. And I hit that, and I'm like, I remember in 2013 when I hit I remember all these years of gaining weight. And what's funny is as the years went by, I didn't see it in the mirror because it happened so slowly. I just wasn't aware it was a problem. Like underneath, I'm a strong, healthy man, And on the outside, McDonald's was my king. All hail the golden arches. It's so sad. I wish I was making this up. I wish I was lying. So I hear a sermon, and God grabbed me, Ernesto. This is a part of your life you've not given to me. And that's your health. You've not even let me touch it. I'm like, God, I'm a good husband. I seek you in prayer. Look, me and you are tight. Leave my plate alone. I don't want to see it. I've been intentionally, literally just hiding from that part of my life for years. God, I'll give you everything else, but this is mine. All of it is mine. And I remember coming home, and I'm like, God, I told my wife, babe, the Lord really showed me some stuff, and I've been living an unhealthy lifestyle. It's getting out of control. And it was hard to admit. It was hard to be true about it. But I finally looked at it and faced it. And last year, 2015 was last year, I lost like 70 pounds, 75 pounds, which was... And what was crazy about that whole thing is I look in the pictures of me at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, I didn't know I got so big. I didn't know it. Because when you're doing it so slowly, you don't know what happens. You don't know what happens. It happens over time. You're just like, I tell that story simply to tell you this. I didn't want to see it. I couldn't see it for a long time. If I pray like, God, what parts of my life are just in chaos before you? And God's like this, and I didn't want to see it. But he touched it. I was watching Superman, the movie. Superman, the original 70s, Christopher Reeve, the good one. And Mr. Kent, Clark's dad, has a heart attack. And me and my daughter and my son are watching Superman because they all love superheroes. And he falls down, and my daughter's like, what happened? He had a heart attack. She's like, what does that mean? I'm like, what does that mean? It means his heart exploded. I don't know how to explain it to a child. It's kind of dramatic to tell a kid that. His heart just blew up in his chest. And she's like, okay. She's like, okay, that makes sense. She's a little kid. She says to me, Dad, will your heart blow up one day? I'm like, probably. God had to do these things to grab this part of my life. I tell you that one part of the story. That's not the only thing. I'm just saying to you, what parts of your life do you refuse to let God touch? Refuse to let God speak to you about? You might have to say, okay, I'm opening my hands, God. It's a new year. I am your son or daughter. Show me what needs to give. Show me what I've been holding back. Show me what is holding me back. Show me the things that are robbing me from a full and joyous and kingdom-building life. Show me, oh Lord. Search me and know me. I know you already know everything. Let me see it too. It's a dangerous prayer. It can change your life. And it hurts to see the darkness. But the light, it can make you clean. With that said, let's pray together. Father in heaven, thank you for this day and for your word that is true. You have searched us. You have known us. You, O Lord, as David says, such knowledge is too wonderful for us, O Lord. How can you see everything and how can you know everything? How is your power so infinite? I don't know, Lord. But as big as you are and as strong as you are, as wise as you are, Lord, you lay your hand on us. You send Christ to walk alongside. So, Lord, let all of us in this room, for the unbeliever, let us receive the Christ and come into the family. For the believers in this room that already confess Jesus, let us pray this prayer in this new year. Search me and know me. Reveal any unclean thing within me, O Lord. Let us be vulnerable. Let us be honest, and Lord, make us into the men and women you long for us to be. Conform us to the image of your Son, Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name we ask all these things. Amen. God bless you, church. Have a great, great 2016.